Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with again someone I call and mean the best investor in my market of Fresno, California. He's been out and about the last couple of weeks, which we will talk about in video number 2. We will save that. But Jason, welcome home.
Thank you, Zuber. I appreciate it. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very, very well, man. One of the things I love about you is your authenticity, the fact that you give really without expectation, and you've done this for years. Yesterday, you had a social media post. So first, tell people where they can find it, because if they're not following you, they're fools. But you pulled out 2 things. One, you pulled out $1 million check that you wrote to yourself. I think you wrote it in 16 with an 18 date, which was kind of cool. Yep. And then most importantly, you have been writing your goals down for years.
Yes,
and
sir.
I love the fact that you sign them and you date them. You don't cheat. Every page was different. So what I took from that IG story, I guess it was, is Jason is who he is today, the best of the best, because of what he did 4-5 years ago. So what do you think of all that?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I think I am very active on my Instagram and Facebook pages. So content like this and any stuff that I post in the future, just put my first and last name, Jason Pritchard, into either one of those platforms, guys. And I'm very open and honest and authentic about just sharing my journey, the ups, the downs, and everything in between, because that's what I would like to see. I remember when I was kind of trying to get into the business, and I wanted to connect with people that were sharing everything, not just their wins, but their losses and how they got there specifically. You know what I mean? And I think I'm very open and honest about stuff like this because it's the mindset and the self-improvement work that I've done dating back the last 10, 11, 12 years. That's one of the biggest contributing factors to the success that I've had here. So I want to show you the check so that you guys have it. This is an old journal that Jennifer and I, not Jennifer and I, but that I did. Jennifer and I were cleaning our garage out yesterday, and we were just, consolidating some stuff. And she opened up one of these plastic bins that were up in the rack, and she pulled this journal out. And as soon as she pulled it out, because we were like tossing a bunch of stuff, and I was like, nope, don't throw that away.
No, I need that one.
That one's staying in the pile that we're keeping. And I pulled it open, and I knew that this check was in here. And I showed this to her, and I said, I don't know if I've showed this to you before, but I said, here is a check that I wrote myself end of 2016, and it's dated December 31st, 2018, and it's made out from my company to me personally for $1 million. And on the memo line, it's for real estate investment net profits. And so this is an exercise that I think is very important for a lot of people. And I expanded on this in my story, and I'm going to share my thoughts on it with you guys right now. I think what happens, guys, when you sit down to write a check like this, your mind is going to start playing tricks on you. I mean, literally the second that you sit down and you write it out, all of your limiting beliefs, I think, are going to start rising to the surface. And you're going to start thinking about stuff like, man, I didn't come from money. Why do you need $1 million? Who do you think you are writing this check to yourself? This is stupid. This stuff doesn't work. Blah, 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 blah. Right. And I think you just have to write it down. You have to have it there as a tangible goal. And one of the things that I tell people is you're never going to touch $1 million goal until you can learn to overcome those limiting beliefs. And that's just, it's been proven to me over and over and over again. If you can't learn how to reconcile those self-limiting beliefs that you have that have been programmed into us when we were younger, when we were kids, from our teachers or from our parents or whatever, you're just never going to get past it. And so you got to have that goal. You've got to break that goal down into monthly, weekly, and daily tasks that you can do consistently and predictably. And then you've got to work really hard to get there. And if you can do all of those things and have that there as a target that's leading you towards your vision, it's been proven to me that you'll get there. Writing things down is a very, very powerful tool.
Yeah. And I want to just kind of, again, you wrote this in late 16. You put a target on 18. To get there. You didn't get there in 18.
I did not get there in 18. No. And that's another thing. This is another thing, and it's very important, guys. It's good to put a time frame on goals, but you also have to realize that I'm a big believer that the timing of these things is less important than the exercise, because here's what would have happened. If I had gotten to that goal in 2018, frankly, I would not have been the kind of businessman that would have been able to handle all of the responsibilities that were required to have a business that could throw off $1 million net. I wasn't ready for it, right? I thought in 2016, maybe in 2 years I was there, but looking back in hindsight, I would not have been able to handle the responsibilities. So that came a little time afterwards. And it's the timing of it is not important, guys. It's the fact that you do the exercise, you do the work, and you release the attachment to the timing or the outcome, and just realize that if I just put my head down and work, I will get there eventually.
Yeah. And then the other thing that was awesome. So the one thing I wanted to ask you about the check is, it's 2016, it's 2017. Did you look at it like once a month? Did it, because again, you taped it or glued it in the book.
Yeah. So this was one, I've gone through all these different variations of journals, right? And so this was like literally like on the second page of this journal, as soon as you open it up. So here I'm literally writing out like all my daily tasks and activities. It's the first thing that I see when I open this journal up, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when you're doing goal setting or you're having a vision board, I'm very big on vision boards too. I have a vision board right over here next to me, off to my left. And it's something that you have to constantly have at top of mind. These type of things, you can't just write it and then put it in your closet and then never look at it again. You know what I mean? Your goals, the point of writing that down, looking at it every day, writing the goals out every day, signing and dating it, is that your goals stay top of mind. It's the things that you focus on and you put energy into every single day. Those are the things that you end up manifesting in your real life. And so it's the habit of doing it all the time. It's got to be on top of mind, guys.
And then the follow-on to the check stories was the notebook, or the journal. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And again, you had every day, you wrote it down. And then I really liked that you signed and dated.
Yep.
That may sound extra, but I think it's the most important part. You sign something, right? And then you date it, it's just powerful.
It's a contract to yourself. That's how I look at it, right? Anything that you sign and date, think about it. Anything in life that we put our signature on and we put a date on, it says that I'm agreeing to whatever it is on this day, I'm agreeing to it and I'm signing my name to it. And you know what is a sad thing that I notice with most people is, and I've been like this too, right? When we make a commitment to other people, I will bend over backwards. If I say, hey, I'm going to be here to do this, or I'm going to go help you with this, I will set everything aside and I will bend over backwards to be there. But most people will break their commitments to themselves like this. They say that they're going to do something. They say they want to change. They say they want to work out and be healthier. They want to make more money. They want to get in real estate. But as soon as they run into some type of adversity, they immediately fold up and say, nah, I'm not going to do it. Right. And the habit of breaking that commitment to yourself, that's a really, really bad habit. And it's something that you guys, if you're doing that now, you have to change it. And so this is something that I did. And again, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but literally this is just some friggin' 99-cent notebook that you can get from Office Max, guys.
Can you just open to some random page and tell us what was, a couple things? You don't have to read it.
Yeah. So it's like, this is every single day. This is an exercise that I would write out every single day. This one was dated August 6th of 2017. I know it's hard for you guys to see. And my goal writing exercise, I would say it's a combination of like, I write it out in the form of positive affirmations with my goals mixed into it. Right. So it's something that I write out every day that positively affirms the things that I want to become as a man, as a businessman, in my personal and professional goals, plus the actual tangible goals that I wanted. Right. So I was going back and reviewing this because I knew we were going to talk about it today. And I've written down the number of rentals that I want to make, the size of my business as far as like revenue that I'm generating, things like impacting people at like our meetups and our events and different things like that. And I just went back and scanned this stuff yesterday and just kind of went down memory lane. And it's just amazing. All the stuff that I've written down in this book from 5-6 years ago, it's all come true, all of it. And that's the power of being intentional and writing that stuff down and making a commitment to yourself.
Yeah. Again, I believe you are the best of the best today because of the blocking and tackling you did in 16, 17, 18, right? Which we're looking at now. So let's kind of finish this up. Let's highly recommend that someone does this. Do you do it in the morning? Is it an evening thing? Is it, how much time do you allocate? And then
I do
again,
this. Yeah, I do this as part of my morning routine, guys. And if you're struggling finding a structure to a morning routine, I would suggest reading a book called The Miracle Morning and just follow that verbatim. Don't deviate from it. Just follow that script. It's essentially going to require you to wake up 1 hour earlier than you normally wake up. And if you don't have an hour to wake up earlier, then it's going to be very hard to get to do any of the things that, we're talking about on this channel. It's just not going to happen. So you have an hour in your time. I don't care how busy you are. You have an hour in your day that you can wake up earlier. And so I incorporate my goal setting exercise as part of my morning routine. And I do it every weekday, and 90% of the time I'm constantly starting my mornings with that type of stuff, right? And it's something that I still do now, and now it's not on here, it's on my iPad,
right?
And you can pull up the notes on my iPad, and it's the same exercise, just different goals. The goals have changed, guys. And so this is the thing, like, these habits, these daily activities are the things that get you here. And I firmly believe they're the things that are going to get me to the next level that I want to get in my life and my business. It's the same exact thing. I think being successful is simple. It's just not easy. Like, the stuff that I'm talking about is very, very simple. And the sad part, or the part where most people mix up, is the simple things. They're easy to do, and they're also easy not to do.
Yes.
And so most people just don't do them. You know what I mean? Because they're like, this can't really move the needle like that in my life. There's got to be something else. Human mind wants to overcomplicate things. And it's just not that complicated, guys. I mean, this is something that is not proprietary to me. I just picked up this exercise from studying other successful people. They all said it worked. I was like, whatever I was doing at that time in my life was not working. So I was like, let me just try something else, because what I'm doing now isn't working. So if this highly successful person says to do this, then I'm going to try it, and just be patient and give it a time, and it'll eventually happen for you.
So one more question about the framework, just so people don't make this too hard, right?
Yeah.
This is 15-minute exercise, 20 minutes?
Yeah, not even that. I mean, 10 minutes. I mean, this is one page that I write out. Okay. Yeah. I think the work will be sitting down for an hour or 2 hours and really coming up with what are the goals? What do I want? And I think that's the problem. People say they want to be successful. They want to invest in real estate. They want money. Well, what does that even mean?
Yeah. It's all squishy.
How much money do you want to actually live the life of your dreams? And what does that dream life even look like? I think you need to start there and unpack all of that stuff and realize, okay, it's going to take, if I want to, have this much money, have this kind of house, travel this many places, it's going to require 250 to 300,000 a year. So how do I even make 300,000 a year? How many rentals would it need for me to take every single month that spit off X amount of dollars in order to get to that space? And it's that work that I think most people are not willing to sit down and do. Once you get there, this habit takes not even 10 minutes. It's one page writing it down. You know what I mean? So,
folks, you've heard me say this at almost every introduction. He is the best of the best in my market. We're so lucky to have him. He is giving you gold here. Most of you aren't doing this.
Yep.
You might want to give it a shot. So, Jason, also, you are helping real estate agents a lot. So talk about real as we close this up. If somebody's out there that wants to be a part of your team in what you're doing, give that a plug, but also hit your IG page one more time.
Absolutely. Please. Absolutely. I think one of the things that I really have a passion for is coaching and mentoring successful people. And we are currently working with successful agents that are kind of stuck on the residential transactional side of their business, and they haven't transitioned into becoming successful investors. Yeah. And so if you're in that position where you're doing very well on the agent side of your business, and you just have never had the training, the mentorship, the coaching in order to take that and transition and also to become a successful investor, I'd love to sit down and talk to you. And we're talking about not just the tactical things, right? Like, who do you talk to? How do you market? What are the lists that you pull? How do you do all these things? How do you analyze and run deals? How all of that stuff, managing contractors. We pull back the entire curtain on our business, but it's also this stuff, which frankly is just as important, if not more important, guys. And I think that's the thing that is missing. If you're not building your business off of a foundation of the stuff that we're talking about today, you will eventually hit a plateau. And if you don't know how to break through those plateaus, you're just going to get stagnant. And so these are the type of things that allow you to really unlock what I believe is your full potential, work past all of those limiting beliefs and say, we got to 1 million. That was a lot easier. Why not 10 million now? Why not whatever the number is, whatever the number you want it to be, and learning how to actually create and formulate a game plan to get there.
Awesome. And your IG page is?
Jason Pritchard. So just pop me in on Instagram. That's probably where I'm most active. I answer all my DMs. So if you guys have questions about this, I posted this yesterday and I had some people ask me about like how I create vision boards and things like that. I will get back to you. I will answer all of your questions, concerns. I really genuinely enjoy just being helpful and being a resource.
Folks, if you're still watching this, do me a favor. Go to your IG page right now. Send him a direct message. Let him know you came from one rental at a time and you really appreciate him giving us his time. He doesn't have to do this, but he's trying to help. So please send him a note. Tell him thank you. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Uber.